they can do to really assist SME and other manufacturers that automation or they have not fallen out of favor would be to help assist them with the capital necessary to upgrade their infrastructure and help them with assistance of the message to the country as a whole why this is important. What I'm referring to is kind of the situation that the government needs to be in is to get everybody to realize there needs to be a man on the moon moment, so to speak. That exact moment that there's a large goal to reach, and how are we going to get there? In this case, there's the actual message part of it, as I mentioned, and the capital part of it. So with the capital part of it, the businesses need to know that if I make this investment, that I'm going to either get some sort of benefit from this, or I'm going to get support from the government in some fashion. So whether that be seed funding to help automate, or it is a tax break to help companies stay competitive. The money itself for automation would be wisely used and put the business in a position that they can then compete on the global scale. As it is right now, the pressure is coming from many Asian manufacturers, and that pressure causes to be not competitive on the cost side. Automation reduces the cost and then allows the competitive nature of the business to continue, and in the long run is actually a net benefit for jobs. And that's the second part of it. Whenever you make an investment such as this, it appears to most people that you're just trying to eliminate jobs. And although there is always a certain amount of job loss, the end goal is not to purely eliminate jobs, it's to shift the type of work people are doing to more advanced type of work, more knowledge-based type of work, and you see that with automation. The government can then get that message out to the people and say, we understand that it's never a nice sight to see a drill press operator's job being lost to an automation system. However, when you lose a job such as a drill press operator, you always gain on the other side of this more advanced jobs such as technicians to fix the automation systems, to fix robots, installation specialists are required. You also need an R&D and training base, and all of this is a net gain in the long run and makes the company and countries more competitive. Your question is a very interesting question regarding how policymakers and industry stakeholders can work together with institutions. I find that it's a very interesting question because higher education or R&D universities play a vital cog, so to speak, in this whole process of innovation. Universities and commercial businesses, or I should say businesses focused on commercialization of products or services, do have an invisible feedback loop. The original innovation that comes out of university systems or higher education oftentimes seed the ideas which feed into what is possible in private commercial businesses. But typically there is not a direct contact or a loop which is self-fulfilling in a formalized fashion. What can really make beneficial inroads is getting universities, industry, and governments to think of this as one partnership working together. Each brings something different to the table. Universities, in many cases, need the support of governments for a certain amount of research, and that's also what their goal is, create important research that keeps their university visible, that keeps grant money from the government coming, depending upon what the government is willing to pay for. But if you combine that with the industry goal of commercialization of products or services, you now have a shift. And the shift is, instead of just producing our research and development at the university level for a grant, You're now producing it for a product that society as a whole gets to use. This is a positive for the governments. Once the initial driver of the process, which is the government, provides the seed money, then the university can, with an end goal of creating a commercially viable commercial portfolio that they can then use to get revenue off of, so eventually the government does not have to put much more money into it. The university has a portfolio of patents or ideas which they can then have commercialized, and then they have a partnership of the industry, telling the university this is what the market needs. So you have the best of kind of three different worlds here. You have the ability of the university to think way outside of the box. You have the ability of the government to provide the quick resources necessary and a vision. And then you have the industry saying this is what's necessary to commercialize a product. With these working as a continuous feedback loop, at the end of the day, you will increase overall commercial activities within the economy, increasing employment, increasing your knowledge base, and also alleviating the strain that sometimes